Do you have a podcast?
Yes, I have, but I'm not kind of recording solo stuff over there. But
Okay. Okay.
I'm a dialogue.
Okay, that's cool. That's cool. What's the? Do you have a name for your podcast? Can we put out the name?
No, you can call me Chinu.
Chino. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Super cool. Super cool. So we're here today to discuss this topic of passion, right? Are you down with that?
I'm cool with it, buddy.
Okay. That's sweet. So, can you tell me what your interest is in this emotion, this feeling, this urge? What is it that attracts you to this topic?
Look, passion is something that I'm already following in my life, and I've made a career out of it, and that is and music.
So you're a musician, is that right?
I'm a singer.
Oh, okay. Wow, fantastic. And so what genre or what styles of music do you work within?
I usually sing Indian Bollywood songs, but I adapt to different kinds of genres. It could be Arabic, English. It could be Spanish. I adapt to style. And language is not a barrier for me. I would love to experiment. I'm mostly an experimental singer, but naturally I'm a soft blues kind of.
Okay, so what kind of material influences you? Because obviously the best kind of music, the best singers obviously have some passion within what they do, right?
The English singer that I've always listened to mostly was Michael Jackson. That's the kind of stuff that goes really well with my style of singing. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, Michael Jackson was at the top of his game, basically. You know, there was no one to compare with him, to compete with him, with what he was doing. Definitely. Do you have a favorite Michael Jackson song?
Yeah, I love this song, "Man in the Mirror."
Oh man, that's my favorite one. Okay, because the lyrics are incredible. Yeah.
Incredible lyrics.
It's I'm gonna make a change for once in my life. I'm gonna feel real good. It's all about looking in the mirror and
I'm starting with the man in the mirror.
Yeah. It's the old "be the change you want to see" philosophy. Yeah.
Right.
You start with yourself. I'll tell you what other Michael Jackson song I really love. It's "Human Nature."
That is human nature.
Yeah, that's it's one of those songs that it can pass you by and you don't notice it, right? It's so nice and so sweet and so well orchestrated, but if you stop and think about it, it goes really deep.
Deep, really good. Yeah, really deep, right.
It goes really deep into what it is to be human, and to get that in a pop song is absolutely incredible.
Yes.
Incredible. I'll tell you something else that I noticed, because I have a background in music as well, and sorry, I missed that. What did you say?
No, I said, really? Wow, that's amazing.
I have a background in music. I worked in music production and promotion for about 10 years. I helped people recording in studios and helped book tours for bands as well. I did a lot of different stuff. And so when I was growing up, I listened to, I had those like the Michael Jackson albums like Thriller and Bad and all that stuff was just amazing. But I noticed something, and I don't know. Tell me if you think this is true. That as his albums progressed, Thriller, Bad, Dangerous, and then I can't remember what was after that. I don't know.
Yeah, another song.
Yeah, though it's super dangerous, right? I don't know where you go after dangerous, right? But I noticed that his voice was lower and lower in the mix. I don't know if you've realized that, but you go and listen to those albums.
Of course, right. Of course. That was the topic of my interest all throughout my life. How the voice timbre changes as the age progresses.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Oh yeah. You have a different quality. You have a different tonal features of your voice as you grow older.
Yeah, true. That's true.
Yeah, and for men, it tends to drop as well. I mean, I'm 40 years old, so I'm at that point where my voice is maybe a few tones lower than it was previously.
How old are you?
I'm 43.
I'm 40, running 41 right now.
So we're kind of in the same territory there.
My voice is very deep right now. Like I can go really deep now.
Yeah, and that's, if you're a good singer, you use that to your advantage, right? You know what's happening with your voice, and you can play with it, right?
Really, that's really helping me these days in my singing, because I can go really deep and I can create new textures out of my voice.
Mm-hmm. Wow. So how did you get started in singing? What was your introduction to this career?
My dad was a fantastic singer, and I grew up listening in my house. So I didn't have to go to school to be able to sing.
Mm-hmm.
To be able to sing well. So most of my upbringing was listening to Indian old classical songs.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Our mom. So in India, there's a genre called classical singing. That's the Indian classical.
Mm-hmm.
You all about your music, like how the notes progress, how to blend. Like in Western, we call them riffs and runs.
Mm-hmm.
There's a riff.
Mm-hmm.
The counterpart of in India.
I get it. So it's similar to what people do with guitars when they're playing like a run or a riff on a guitar. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So, if you're in India, I mean, what are the cultural influences that are related to music?
Like if you go to any state, there are so many states. There are 29 states in India, more than that, in fact. And every state has a different culture, and the style of singing changes at every 500 kilometers.
Wow. So does that mean that you can tell where a person is from by what they're singing?
Yes, of course. Like if you're in Gujarat, in a state, there the singing is very Ejire Mharo Dholna. This would be the same. And if you go to Punjab, there was
Oh man, where's the beat? I want to dance, man. That's so cool. That is, give me a beat, man. Whoa. Oh, that's
you really got it. That's a very famous Punjabi pop song, and it's international. Like you would love to dance on it.
Oh man, it's just that the only thing better than great music is dancing to great music, right?
And if you go down south in India, so it becomes Sunri Sakhi, Meri Pyari Sakhi, Dil Kahin Mera.
So it's a bit softer, is it? In that part?
It has more melody to it.
Mm-hmm.
And the note has more groove to it.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
East, I'll just there's a place called West Bengal. The place is তোমার মরো শরণ ঘোতারে উগারে বারো. It's more up and more very like operatic. Goes
Wow, man, that's incredible. Hey, what is this? So for you, what is the process of working with music and with songs? You know, do you is it do you copy what other artists do? Do you write your own material? I mean, how does it all come together? How does it all work?
Yeah, I'm grown up like copying a lot. I'm naturally gifted with I'm a copycat. So I just listen to something and I try to reproduce it in my own. Not in my own way, I try to copy it exactly the way it has been done. So my process of learning was copying, just copying. And I figured out that when I sing, what my forte is, I can zoom a song. I can slow it down so much that every nuance of every inflection, I can slow it down to maybe 300, 400, 500%.
Wow.
I'm very aware what note I'm hitting, how I'm going from one pitch note to another, and in what fashion I'm doing, what kind of wave that I'm following.
And when you're singing, I've heard a lot of singers say that you feel the note in your whole body, like your whole body vibrates with the notes when you sing.
That's true. No, but I think that's a very what would I say? Metaphorical way of saying something like I sing from my stomach, if you would say.
Okay, yeah. So what is it? What are the components of a great song? You know, what makes a great song from your perspective?
Okay. That's a good topic. I think one should also should know about it. As a singer, what my experience is that every song has lyrics. Okay. We start with lyrics. The lyrics have to be good. Like they have to convey a meaning. When a singer approaches a song, now he has to express what's being written in the what the thought is. What is it about? And to be able to express, he has to develop all his faculties as a singer, and that could be tone and the texture of his voice, the throw of his voice, the range of his voice. So developing your vocal cord, your singing style is developing your craft is one aspect, and to be able to merge that craft and that forgetting while you're singing, you don't have to think about what tone I'd be singing in. Just with all your heart.
Oh, wow! That sounds amazing. I've heard also that some singers, when they're singing songs, they like to hold specific images in their mind to help them get the emotions of the song.
Correct. That's some people do. Yeah. You have to act out the song. You have to become an actor. Once you are on stage, you're an actor, and you are acting through your song.
Yeah. Many years ago, I'm talking like 20 plus years ago, I was in a musical in London, and I was on the stage singing and dancing. And I can tell you, the moment I started dancing, my singing just fell apart completely.
Oh yeah. That happens. That comes with practice. I think Michael Jackson was great at it.
Yeah, you've got to practice the art. I mean, even if you've got a talent for something, if you don't practice the skill, you're still not as good as you could be, right?
Of course. I remember like there was a time when I was not practicing at all. My pitching was going haywire. Like I was not hitting the right note. Though I was feeling that I'm in pitch, but when I recorded, I was off pitch.
Well, hey man, I'm sorry to interrupt. We got 30 seconds left. Is there some place online where people can access any of your music or singing or something?
My name, that is very difficult to pronounce. You can search my name, and there's a lot of stuff out there. And I'm coming up with a lot of singles right now. Like everything is in the pipeline. In a month's time, there'll be a lot of work out on my Instagram.
Hey man, I want to connect again. I want to connect with you again, and I want to talk about music and what you're doing. What do you think? Is that a good idea?
Great idea. Yeah, you can connect.
Okay, so listen, when this conversation finishes, I'm gonna drop you a message through the Anchor system. Okay.